Stephen A. Smith, who Kyle Kowinski calls his favorite centrist, has platformed the likes of Candace Owens, where he came off as chummy in the interview. He chatted up with the Daily Wire's Ben Shapiro, a man he calls a good friend, Bill O'Reilly, and even ICE Director Tom Homan. Recently, Smith was called out by MSNBC's Jahan Jones for a criticism that has been paramount of Smith. Jones opens up his piece, noting how white nationalist Nick Fuentes praised Stephen A. If unaware, Smith's social media account liked a Fuentes clip where he states, the one you're seeing, 17 of the top 25 hedge funds are run by Jews. Smith would go on to write him liking this video was, quote, unintentional.
Theo Von, and Theo Von's clearly red-pilled. Stephen A. Smith had Candace Owens on. He's clearly red-pilled. Jason Whitlock is praising Andrew Tate. He's clearly red-pilled. Andrew Tate is on Nelk, red-pilled. Tate is on PBD, spreading the message. Ian Carroll on Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan seems to be, I don't know if we could say he's red-pilled, but certainly he hints every now and again that he knows maybe more than he lets on. So it is a very exciting time, and I love to see it. It does make me very happy.
If the neo-Nazis are loving what you do, it may be time to go back to the drawing board. However, Jones would call out Smith for his appearance on MSNBC in 2009, where he defended the Tea Party and stated, quote, I don't think the conservatives have a corner market on extremism. I think we can see extremism to the left sometimes too. To understand where Jones is coming from, he would highlight a report from Onyx Impact, which is a nonprofit working to combat disinformation within the Black community. Onyx identified half a dozen core online networks reaching or targeting Black Americans online with false and misleading narratives. In their write-up, they identified those 6 core networks: gateway influencers and platforms, far-right activists and media outlets, Black manosphere, Black extreme nativists and separatists, health skeptics, and foreign actors. They put Smith in the gateway influencers and platforms category, writing, Smith, along with Joe Budden and The Shade Room, to name a few, represent authentic online influencers and platforms in Black spaces and with large Black followings who serve, often unintentionally, as high-value targets for bad actors to introduce harmful narratives. This network serves a critical role in elevating Black news and culture, but may also uplift misleading influencers and narratives. From Jones himself, he wrote, the report notes some of these outlets' large audiences could make them very useful in dispelling false and misleading claims, but it also highlights how some of these entities have already platformed extremist right-wingers. It also talks about some other concepts we've discussed, including efforts to promote anti-immigrant sentiment within the Black community, a Trumpian strategy, and efforts to promote toxic hypermasculinity amongst Black men. And it talks about how artificial intelligence tools will likely exacerbate the spread of targeted disinformation without measures to combat it. Thus, in his most recent piece, he would write of how Smith stated the Dems were weaponizing the legal system to stop Trump ahead of the 2024 election. Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also, be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you.
But in the meantime, let me express to you what I think about what he wrote. I think that's the exact problem with the left. You see, if I don't agree with you, I must be MAGA. It must be the case. I'm platforming MAGA propaganda. Is that so? I don't view it that way.
More from Jones. In recent days, he has spoken with commentators Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, and Bill O'Reilly. You might be thinking that these were adversarial chats between a left-leaning centrist and a conservative, but to his listeners and many others who were taking all of this in, it really came across as friendly discussions. Jones notes Smith praised Shapiro, calling him a brilliant dude, including a nod to Shapiro's media company the Daily Wire, which, as Haas outlined and a few others have outlined, I know Kyle did as well, may very well be in shambles. They have not been able to really have any sort of growth outside of Brett Cooper, and she is doing her own thing right now.
I want to emphasize that I've always been a centrist my entire life.
He would conclude this. Smith's overt politicism seems to fly in the face of ESPN's apparent effort in recent years to deter some of its talent from speaking on controversial political topics. Either way, the network's most recognizable host and a newly minted $100 million man is now regularly platforming MAGA propaganda at will.
So Stephen A. Smith is unfortunately doing what many people have done since Trump won the second time, which is namely either fully capitulate to MAGA or semi-capitulate to MAGA, because, I don't know, man, people are just interpreting this Trump win as if it's like a Reagan-style landslide or an FDR-style landslide. They feel like, 48 out of 50 states were won by Trump, and that this is truly a mandate. This is truly the people saying we're 100% with him. It's not that. He likes to do the thing where it's like, I'll go after the Republicans and I'll go after the Democrats and I'll show you like I'm above the fray, bro. I'm not with anybody, bro. I'm just an independent thinker, bro. That's his whole shtick. But guess what? He's not as independent a thinker as he thinks he is, because right now he's going like this. Where are the winds blowing? Oh, the winds are blowing that way? I guess I'll hop on that bandwagon to try to ride the wave and maintain some relevance. And the other thing is, every time Stephen A. Smith says something that either fully or semi-agrees with MAGA, there's 400 MAGA accounts on X that are out there praising him as being this genius and Stephen A. Smith figured it out, etc. And that's a part of the media landscape that people haven't really contended with. And unfortunately, many people, especially ones who like to be in front of cameras, are attention whores. Right? They're attention whores. And so Stephen A. Smith loves the adoration. He loves the support. He loves people telling him he's brilliant. So here he is. He goes on, quite possibly the worst show that's ever been created in human history. Dave Rubin. Stephen A., they are using you. They are using you. Oh, the right's really making a lot of sense. The right's really saying a lot of things that I think are reasonable. This isn't something that I saw in the past, but now we're seeing it now. And so you get a skewed, misleading picture of the reality of politics in this country, because there's a cottage industry on the right where they try to play up all these stories of, oh, I'm a centrist or I'm a liberal, but I don't know, the right seems to be making a lot of sense. Are they really? He's just doing the same thing that we've seen so many people do in media. You see, Republicans are all genuflecting at the altar of Trump. That's obvious. But Democratic politicians are either fully capitulating or semi-capitulating to MAGA. The media has gone full false equivalence, and this is the main story you're getting out of this era. The people like Stephen A. Smith, oh, I'm a centrist. Oh, I'm a liberal. Oh, I'm open-minded. But hey, I looked at everything, and it just turns out the right is so reasonable, and the left are just guilting you, and they don't believe anything. He also went on to say in a different clip, oh, I didn't vote for Donald Trump, but I'm not upset that he won. Please. It is not brave. And it's a shame, because I like Stephen A. They're bringing you in there to sing this exact tune. And this is how they flip people over to the Republican side without improving their policies one iota, without helping a single other new person.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.